Welcome to the program, everyone. This is Politics Spotlight. As preparation for 2023 election picks race and pace, Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, is not mincing words as regards the Commission's commitment to raising the bar of the standards set in previous elections. The INEC chairman, who made this call during the Commission's second quarterly meeting with Rex in Abuja, charged resident electoral commissioners to work towards addressing some recurring logistic issues in the conduct of election and ensure that the 2023 general election are different from the previous election in terms of INEC preparation and delivery. On this episode today, Politics Spotlight want to explore the preparedness of INEC towards the 2023 general election and what will make the 2023 general election different from the previous one. The show today with me is the Honorable Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC Ogun State, Niyi Ijalaya Esq. I'm Adesina Olanrewaju. The show begins in a moment. Welcome back to the program. Perhaps you're just joining us. This is Politics Spotlight. And on the show today with me is the Honorable Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC Ogun State, Niyi Ijalaya Esq. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now let's kickstart this conversation. Looking at the last meeting the INEC National Chairman had with the State Rex, he said that he wants this the forthcoming 2023 general election to be different from the previous one. Why the differences now? Does that mean that certain anomalies that have been happening in the past election that he wants us, or he wants you, or the commission to correct at the moment? What's your take on that?
Let me thank you very, very much, Mr. Olanrewaju. And through you, let me appreciate the General Overseer of the Gospel Faith Mission International, Pastor Dr. Elijah Abino, for having me on this program. Thank you very much for that question. The chairman of INEC, Professor Yakub Mahmood, was very categorical as it affects the conduct of the 2023 elections. Why did he say that? Now, you of course know that every reasonable franchise is a continuous process. And as time goes by, you must continue to fine-tune and see that what was not properly done before could be improved upon or done in a different way, so as to bring credence to the conduct of elections in Nigeria and to meet the aspirations of all Nigerians. That's the major essence. And towards this end, you realize that the Commission had invested very heavily, very heavily on electoral technologies. And in this regard, the IVED machine, the INEC IVED machines, this is what is being deployed all over the country, and in particular reference to the 236 polling units in Ogun State. These IVED machines enables us now going through from the Electoral Act, because it's a product of the Electoral Act, which is equally a fine-tune from the previous elections. And the IVED machine is now being deployed by INEC in the last 1 year. We are in the last quarter now, which is ending on the 30th of June June precisely, and it has to do with ensuring that every eligible registrant is captured and is registered and is issued a PVC, which is the permanent voter card. Now, for you to be eligible to be registered in Nigeria, you must first have been 18 years of age. That's the basic rule or expectation. And two, you must be a Nigerian. You must be 18 years of age. You must be Nigerian. Now, if you have your voter card defaced, of course, we will issue you another one. If you have changed location of your abode, for example, we are in Mowe, I guess.
Yes.
If you are in Mowe, you were registered in Mowe and you have moved to Abeokuta, you need not take another PVC. You understand? You need not register twice because it's even an offense to register more than once. So all you need to do is go to the nearest INEC outlets nearest to you, polling unit, and then we will happily effect a change to the polling unit nearest to your home. Because the strategy of part of what our chairman was saying was that we do not, apart from not wanting to disenfranchise anyone, we want to ensure that on the day of voting, you will be able to go to a place nearest to your home. In time past, you could have to travel a distance. But because of the convenience the Commission is thinking about, new polling units have been created. New polling units have now been created, and you could go to the website. There's the INEC website you could visit and ensure that you get transferred, or you go to the INEC polling unit. The INEC the local government office, or indeed our office at Magbon in Abeokuta, and effect a change to that nearest polling unit. Now, the polling unit we are talking about is the commission may, it's not absolute, may cancel a polling unit that does not generate up to 50 registrants. It will show that it is not feasible. But we implore all members, all of us in Ogun State, we should now go and see how we can move to the polling units nearest to our homes for our convenience and our comforts. Now, like I said earlier, under the CVR, which is the continued voter registration, the essence is to ensure that everybody who is eligible to register is in no way disenfranchised, is registered and is captured on our platform, on our data page. Now, another issue that our chairman was emphasizing, like I said before, is this, I'd mentioned it earlier though, is this issue of technology. A lot of money had been invested into those machines, and as you are aware, that machine captures not only your biometrics as affecting your face, but all your other fingerprints. And of course, no two persons have the same fingerprints and facial look. Even if you look alike, your fingerprints will not be the same. So that's an improvement over the past also. So it's to ensure credibility to the process. You understand? And as the electoral management body of Nigeria, the whole idea is to ensure that we deliver on one single mandate. And that mandate is to ensure we have a free, fair, credible, acceptable elections in the year 2023.
All right, let's pick it up from there. You talked about the issue of the IV machine.
Yes.
Those are sensitive materials. Let's talk about the issue of manipulation. The issue of manipulation when it comes to technological devices. Don't you, number one, where are these devices. What is the relationship at the moment between INEC and CBN? Because recently, of course, we know that the CBN governor wants to contest for the presidential seat, and in the Electoral Act is as a civil servant is not supposed to, and if he must do so, he should do a resignation letter. And it seems that, of course, there has been a controversy that if CBN governor remain as the governor and is still contesting or still having this ambition to contest, the sensitive material of INEC is not secure under his leadership. Now let's look at the relationship between INEC and CBN at the moment. Where is our sensitive material? Is our sensitive materials under his leadership at the moment? What is INEC doing? If he's still nursing that ambition, what is INEC doing to make sure that, with respect to our sensitive material in the CBN, what is INEC doing to this regard?
Let me thank you again very, very much. I have also read on the pages of newspapers, and in fact in the news, of the, I would permit me to use this word, speculation that the CBN governor is interested in vying for presidential seats. That is, for me, neither here nor there, because the central bank is the bankers' bank in Nigeria. It's the bankers' bank. It has a responsibility, first of all, to the nation. I'm talking of the central bank. The central bank is bigger than any individual in the central bank who works in the central bank. Do you understand what I mean? It has a responsibility to protect the rest, as it affects INEC, all the sensitive materials in its custody. Now, we know we are in political season, and the speculation is rife here and there that the CBN governor is doing this, it's going to vie. But I think that it may, I do not want to preempt, and permit me not to preempt whether it's vying or not. I'm not in a position to go into that. Okay. But I am saying that the responsibility of the central bank is a responsibility to the states, that is Nigeria. And that responsibility is of a very high one. It's of a very, very high calling. It's, you know, it's a very, very, very high responsibility, and the expectation is that CBN, our CBN, will not fall short of expectations. I cannot tell you, and I want to reassure all the electorates that our materials that are in their custody are fully safe.
Our materials at the INEC custody are safe. Now let's talk about
not at the CBN custody.
At the CBN custody are safe.
Are safe.
Yes, you're right. Okay, now let's talk about the Electoral Act. In the Electoral Act, it is stated there that INEC should be funded 6 months, should be given the expected budget. Says like 6 months. I think it's 150 days before the general election, which means about 6 months. The expenses needed for a forthcoming or the next election should be given. Now, can you confirm to us if this has been done to the INEC?
Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, the Electoral Act stipulates 360 days.
Okay.
Stipulates 360 days. And the whole essence for that...
That's 1 year.
That's 1 year.
Okay. Which means that the money or the resources in terms of finance, which will be used for 2023 election, should have been given to you since January this year.
That's what I'm trying to address.
Can you confirm to us if you've been given?
Yes. Let me now tell you that the whole essence of including it in the Act, in the Electoral Act, is to bring credence, to bring credence to the process. 2, is also to ensure that, because most of these sensitive materials have foreign currency detail. You understand my point? What I'm trying to put across is that if we're going to bring in these machines, like the IVED machines, it has foreign currency content. And of course, because of that, it is expedient that if money was gotten early enough, that money is not delayed, such monies would have been deployed to procure these materials and these machines. You get my point? So because it's a statutory requirement, it's in the statutes. That statute had been passed by the National Assembly. I am confident that that money must have been in the kitty of the INEC.
Right.
And in this regard, let me even say that, like I told you, it's been a process that has been ongoing. And procuring this, and I told you earlier that the machines, which are technologically based, have now been deployed to every nook and cranny of the country with a view to capturing every eligible registrant, so that in no way will anyone be disenfranchised. Now, these machines cost a lot of money, and it has to be procured from overseas. And these are issues that I want to be, naturally, because they were not there before, but they are now here and they've been deployed. So that money, in direct answer to your question, must be in the kitty of INEC.
All right, thank you so much. Now, on the issue of party form, recently I read that INEC is in partnership with the EFCC to monitor the financial details to compel political parties to monitor the financial details of aspirants. Now, what is the stand or the take of INEC in this regard, in terms of ensuring that EFCC is committed to enforcing every political party to ensure that the financial details of aspirants are monitored? And has there been any scapegoat of recent to this effect through the EFCC?
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, the electoral process in Nigeria is governed majorly by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Electoral Act as amended, which was issued just in February this year. Now, that Electoral Act, which is the grand norm, with the major documents. Okay, both are the documents, but the Electoral Act guides the conduct of the elections. Now, if the Act tells us that if an aspirant deposes to an affidavit which is false, the EFCC or law enforcement agencies have a responsibility to investigate such declaration by any aspirant or the political party. And the Electoral Act prescribes a punishment for infringements of that act. So, just opposing that to your question, the EFCC has a primary responsibility, with or without a relationship or discussion with the INEC, to investigate any matter, or in fact the police also have a similar responsibility to ensure compliance with the Electoral Act.
So are you saying that, because I also read it about a month ago, that that INEC has committed EFCC to this effect, that they should make sure that political parties ensure that aspirants' financial details are monitored. So are you saying that between then and now, there has not been any scapegoat? And secondly, the 100 million presidential form. Do you think INEC should step in to regulate the amount? Because when it comes to party convention, party primaries, it's the INEC that is being called to monitor it. So you are also a major stakeholder in this regard. So do you think INEC should step in to regulate the amount forms will be sold, so that looking at those who are contesting in the major party, we don't see young people who are financially capable enough to say they want to buy a 100 million presidential form? What is the take of INEC in regulation and monitoring the sales of form?
Thank you very much. The purchase or the purchase of forms by aspirants in political parties is an internal affair of the political parties. As to and of course I want to believe that the amount being asked by each political party differs from one party to the other. My take on this is that it is a responsibility of the National Assembly.
Okay.
It is not a responsibility of the INEC to fix, to cap whatever amount should be expended for nominees or nomination of buying nomination forms by candidates. Going forward, like I said again, life itself is a process, and so even the issue of elections is equally a continuous process. And because of this, the National Assembly may wish to look into that, and in their wisdom, they may cap the maximum amount that should be fixed by political parties to purchase.
Can that still be done as far as 2023 general election is concerned?
I will say I do not think so.
Okay.
I'm saying that because Nigeria is going to be here forever, and we can always cure, it's a continuum. We can always cure defects or challenges. I'm just, as a Nigerian now, advising that it's an area that the National Assembly should look into.
All right, let's look at the relationship with, let's go back to the issue of INEC and CBN. If the INEC boss, initially,
that's the central bank boss.
The central bank board decided and changed his mind that he wants to contest for the presidential. Of course, the form has been purchased on his behalf. If he changes his mind today and say, I want to contest and I'm going, what's the alternative archive for INEC to secure our sensitive materials?
Thank you very much. My simple response is that we will cross the bridge when we get there. You understand that? I don't want to, be categorical on this, but I can assure you that we will cross the bridge when we get there.
We're going to cross the bridge when we get there. We are going to go on a short break now, and then when we return, we are going to continue the show. Don't forget, this is Politics Spotlight, and on the show with me is the Honorable Rep. INEC Ogun State, Niyi Ijalaya Esq. The show begins in a moment.
INEC hereby inform the public that only Nigerians 18 years and above who have never registered to vote should register during the last phase of the ongoing continuous voter registration ending on Thursday, 30th June 2022. Those who want to transfer their voting locations to another or replace lost or damaged voters' cards or correct their information such as spelling of names, dates of birth, etc. should not register afresh but indicate as such for action by INEC. This is to prevent double registration, as the names of persons who registered before are still valid in the register of voters. Previously registered voters up till December 2021 can collect their PVCs at the registration centers. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
Politics Spotlight, and I have in the studio with me the Honorable Rec, Ogun State, INEC Ogun State, Niyi Ijalaya Esq. Welcome to the show once again. Before we go on the break, we're talking about the issue of electoral art, sensitive material, and transmission of results. The INEC, following the provision of the Electoral Act as amended 2022, it was prescribed that INEC can do manual transmission of result, electronic transmission of result. Now that we are investing heavily in technology, and INEC have decided to use the manual aspect of it to transmit the result, why should we decide to invest heavily in technology that will not be used in transmission of results?
Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, the position is that, and that's what the Electoral Act stipulates, the position is that both manual and electronic must be used.
Okay.
It's both manual and electronic. And the beauty of that is that, obviously, if there's a synchronization of the figures, that brings further credence to the process.
So which means that if a candidate A has
10 votes
on the manual transmitted result,
and it should be 10 votes on
that is the credibility aspect
of it.
So which one is INEC going to use?
Both.
Both. All right. So we should expect that INEC use both manual and electronic transmission of results. Now let's talk about we've talked about the alternative. If INEC, if CBN chairman changes his mind today, what other warehouse would INEC rent or use to house our sensitive materials, knowing fully well that we spend heavily to get them?
Of course, I'm happy because this is a recurring question you've been asking, and I'm sure it is equally to bring credibility to the process. I am confident that in the events that the central bank governor, Mr. Emefiele, eventually declares, INEC will do the needful at that point. And that was why I said we will cross the bridge when we get there.
All right. So
we will do the needful and ensure, because all INEC is out to do is to ensure credence to the process. Absolute credence. That's the whole idea. My chairman is resolute, and not just him, the commission is resolute on this. We want to ensure that, come God willing, helping us in 2023, we will deliver on this mandate.
All right. Yes. In terms of transparency and legacy, do you think it is a form or a means or an avenue to winch on aspirant when INEC ask the EFCC to compel political parties to secure or request for financial details of aspirants? Is it a legacy that the INEC want to display, or a winch hunt, or a means of transparency?
Thank you very much. Obviously, it is not a witch hunt.
Okay.
It is, the Electoral Act forms part of our laws. It is a requirement of the acts. It's equally a process of credibility to the process. That if you claim to be X, you must be X. If you claim to have so much, you must have evidence to justify what you are stating in your affidavit. If it is false, the Electoral Act prescribes punishment, not only to that declarant, that is the contestant, but also to the party fielding him. In this regard, the party will in fact be liable. If that affidavit is seen to be false, will be liable to a penalty of 10 million naira. Apart from the EFCC or any other law enforcement agencies doing their primary responsibilities. Apart, you are saying because of the collaboration between INEC and the ICC, yes, but the EFCC has a primary assignment. So also is the Nigerian police. They have an assignment to do their job with or without INEC.
All right. We're trying to coast home in the next few minutes. We're going to coast home.
Thank you very much.
I think we have two or three more issues to deal with before we release it to go.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
at this point, I can see that you're relaxed. There's no tension in you. How do you manage political tension or tension and pressure when it comes to election period and politicians? How do you as an individual and INEC as an institution, or would you justify to us that INEC is not under tension and pressure of politicians? And if yes, how do you manage it?
Thank you very much. For me, let me first speak for myself. As to how I manage the process and pressure and tension. I believe, and I equally speak for INEC in this regard, the entire commission, once processes are followed in any establishment, when laid down processes are followed, it reduces your risk, it reduces your tension. Now, my late father used to tell me that, or used to say that if you tell a lie, you need at least 10 other lies to embellish that first lie. And that lie will still not be the truth. So it is better to speak the truth, to do it properly, and that reduces tension.
Like the saying that speak the truth
and let the devil be ashamed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, talking, how do you, I know that pressures are coming. Can you confirm to us that pressures are coming?
No, it's part of life. It's part of life.
And how have you been able to manage it?
That's what I just said. It's part of life.
All right.
That just follow the process. Once processes are followed, it reduces risks, it reduces pressure. No matter what the pressure may be.
Right.
If you follow laid down rules and regulations, you can't go wrong.
All right. Talking about the state of things in the country, the state of insecurity, the state of corruption in this country, more importantly, the insecurity in the country, do you think, because a number of people, have just imagined a number of people who might want to work with INEC as INEC ad hoc staffs. What is INEC doing in terms of security, in terms of securing the lives of people who will work with them, and more importantly, our sensitive material?
Thank you very much, Mr. Olanrewaju. The position of INEC in this regard is that the lives, the safety of lives of its citizens and materials is uppermost in the mind of INEC. Is uppermost. There are challenges notwithstanding, but we're in collaboration with the ISS. The ISS is a collaboration of all security agencies, and we continue to meet them on a regular basis, strategizing and re-strategizing on how to continue to secure lives and properties. And happily, again, I'm here at GOFAMINT, and the primary responsibility of this house of the Lord is also to pray. To pray. Let us continue to pray for this nation, that things continue to go right and improve from the situation we are in as of today.
All right, on a final note, I'm going to allow you to tell viewers at home just what's your parting words as we bring this program to a close, or as a close home. What's your parting word until when you come back to this seat?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My parting word is that all of us who have turned 18 years and above should please go out and register. Number two, it is not in anybody's interest to register more than once. Number three, which is equally of great importance, is that we have no other nation to call our own. So as Nigerians, we must perform that civic responsibility. Every Nigerian, it's a responsibility we just must perform. And permit me to say this, you know, we Nigerians are used to complaining, you know, but then there is a laid down process that election comes in every 4 years. A nation gets what it deserves. If you register, you'll be eligible to vote, and you can vote in or out a candidate. You can vote in your choice. That's what I'm trying to put across. You are free to vote in whoever you desire, but participate in the process. The first thing you need to do is register, and the second thing is that on the day of election, come out and vote in your candidates.
And leave and go.
And leave and go. Vote in your candidate.
Until when they
No. You are there to protect your votes. You are supposed to, you can, if you so desire, you stay there, you protect your vote. You can see to the electronic transmission of your result. Then the collation that is done there by the electoral officer sitting there, you are free to witness it.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, after you have casted your votes, you need to wait and let your vote be counted before you leave. This is Politics Spotlight, and on the show with me has been the Honorable Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC Ogun State, Niyi Ijalaya Esq. Until when I meet you again, let me ask you, are you a conscious, commercial, or control voter? Until when we meet again on this show, stay blessed.
INEC hereby inform the public that only Nigerians 18 years and above who have never registered to vote should register during the last phase of the ongoing continuous voter registration ending on Thursday, 30th June 2022. Those who want to transfer their voting locations to another or replace lost or damaged voters' cards or correct their information such as spelling of names, dates of birth, etc. should not register afresh but indicate as such for action by INEC. This is to prevent double registration, as the names of persons who registered before are still valid in the register of voters. Previously registered voters up till December 2021 can collect their PVCs at the registration centers. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.